Hey everybody, investigative pop culture journalist Popcorn Farts coming at you with another hot take. In today's episode, I wanted to delve into the very serious topic of domestic violence. When is it okay? When does it stop being sexy? Ha! Obviously joking, domestic violence is never okay, and if you or a loved one are starting to hit each other, I would get out of that relationship prontissimo. No, on today's episode, I wanted to broach the very serious topic of Hulkamania and what it is and why is it endorsing President Donald J. Trump. Now, as some of you can see, I am proudly rocking my TRUMPAMANIA shirt. And a little backstory on yours truly, I, since the age of 13, have been a wrestling fan. And like all good wrestling fans, Hulk Hogan is on my Mount Rushmore. You have to appreciate and respect the work the guy has done. However, a political endorsement to Donald Trump, I don't think is the best strategic move for the Trump campaign. In today's episode, I'm going to delve a little bit into why. Now, as most wrestling fans, of the 10 that are probably watching this channel right now, you are probably aware of the lies Hulk Hogan has told over the years and the allegations that Hulk Hogan is a bit of a piece of shit. Now, I'm going to get into both of those topics today, but first I'd like to get a little bit into the lies Hulk Hogan has told over the years. Now, for those of you who, like I said, who are wrestling fans, you're probably familiar with some of these. On September 10th, 2001, Hulk Hogan told his friends, "I have a bad feeling about tomorrow, brother." Hulk Hogan didn't predict 9/11. Hulk Hogan really never predicted shit. But a lot of his other lies over the years are pretty comical. So in today's episode, I'd like to delve first into the lies Hulk Hogan has told over the years, and then into some of the other statements by other wrestlers that have worked with Hulk Hogan over the years as to why Hulk Hogan is a giant piece of shit. Now, as you guys watching this know, I don't have a budget. I'm not working with jack shit over here. So as much as I'd like, and I'm technologically inept. Like, I'd like to know how to pull shit up on my screen, but quite frankly, I'm too lazy to learn. So I decided to make a list and categorize all of Hulk Hogan's lies. And for today's episode, I'd like to get into a couple because, like I said, they are indeed pretty comical. Going with the first one, in an interview with Muscle and Health magazine, Hulk Hogan claims that he brought Simon Cowell to the United States of America to begin his music career and to help him with his album. Let's do a little bit of fact checking on that. Simon Cowell did do an album. He helped produce an album in '92 with the WWE. However, Hulk Hogan wasn't even involved. He claimed he was going to kill himself, but Layla Ali stopped him. I think everybody has debunked this, including Layla Ali. Let's get back to 1992. Hogan says he sold out Wembley Stadium in 1992. Hogan wasn't even on the card, you guys. Claimed to have a #1 song on Billboard charts for 8 weeks. This another obvious lie. He said he wrestled 400 days a year. Now, he says that he was able to wrestle. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Popcorn Farts, there's only 365 days in a year. How could Hulk Hogan have wrestled 400? Obvious lie. Well, Hulk Hogan did fly a lot to Japan, and the time zones are a little wonky. You go back a day, you lose a day. And so what Hulk Hogan was basically trying to say was that he would fly out to Japan on a Monday and then fly back to the United States, and it would be a Tuesday, and because of the time zone difference, completely disregarding the fact that you actually lose a day when you fly back to the United States. So that's horseshit. Lied about donating proceeds to a Make-A-Wish family. Now we're getting into the bit of the. Now we're getting a bit into the part about why Hulk Hogan is a giant piece of shit. Claims Darren Aronofsky, easy for me to say, offered the role of the wrestler 3 times to Hulk Hogan before Hulk Hogan turned it down, claiming that he didn't deserve it. Good old Hulkster. Always looking out for his buddies like Mickey Rourke. Was scouted by the Yankees and the Reds, but had to turn down a career in professional baseball because of injuries. Not true. Claimed to have rewritten Suburban Commando and Mr. Nanny, 2 classics from the 90s, but was cheated out of his writing credit by the Screen Actors Guild. Hogan said Mike Tyson was scheduled to do a program with him in WCW in 1997, but turned it down because, quote, Mike Tyson was afraid of him. Mike Tyson would later go on in 1997 and 1998 to work with the WWF and did a very successful program with Stone Cold Steve Austin, kicking off the Attitude Era. Rolling Stones and Metallica wanted him as a bass player, claims Lars Ulrich went to him in person to beg him to join. Lars Ulrich has said that this never happened. In an episode of Hogan Knows Best, says that he lost the deal on the George Foreman grill because he was taking his kids to school. Now, as some of you may have been able to guess thus far, I'm no business major, but even I know that's not how business works, folks. You don't just lose a business deal because you missed a phone call. It's not like they had Hulk Hogan and George Foreman on the line and they're like, God damn, who do we offer this grill to? Call Hogan first. He didn't answer. He's picking his kids up from school. George Foreman it is. It didn't work like that. Claims he was the first person to slam Andre the Giant, and then a couple days later, Andre the Giant died. There have been a lot of wrestlers over the years who body slammed Hogan way before Hogan slammed Andre in '87. Hogan included. Antonio Inoki, Harley Race, and Kamala, not to be confused with the Vice President Kamala Harris. Kamala the wrestler all slammed Andre the Giant before WrestleMania 3 in 1987. Hulk Hogan was not the first. Told The Undertaker that The Undertaker broke his neck with a botched tombstone pile driver. Undertaker has responded to this in his own podcast and says that when he went back and watched the tape, he saw that Hulk Hogan's head never even came close to hitting the steel chair. This was a trick that a lot of wrestlers used to do back in the day, and especially in the 70s and 80s, with younger guys. They would claim that the younger guys hurt them, and what this would do was kind of create a debt-based relationship where down the line, if it was time for the younger guy was getting bigger, would put the older guy over because it's like, hey, brother, remember you hurt my neck? And then the younger guy would feel indebted to him. So this was a trick he pulled with The Undertaker. In his album Hulk Rules from the 90s, I don't know if any of you remember that, but wrestling fans probably do. There was a song in there on that album called Hulkster in Heaven, where he talks about a Make-A-Wish kid that came to Hulk Hogan and said that I'm going to fight and hold out just a little bit longer because I want to see you wrestle in Wembley Stadium. Now, keep in mind, going back to earlier, this is the same Wembley Stadium event from 1992. Hulk Hogan never appeared on that card, folks. Hulk Hogan was not in that event at Wembley Stadium. He had nothing to do with the attendance. And it also leads me to believe that he never talked to this Make-A-Wish kid. The story just never happened. A lot of these lies you're going to see are what looks to be like Hulk Hogan would hear stories over the years and then just put himself in them. One being about Elvis Presley. Hulk Hogan claimed that Elvis Presley was a wrestling fan. Hulk Hogan's character didn't start until Vern Gagne helped him create it in the AWA in the 80s. Elvis Presley died in 1977. Now, bit of a journalistic note here. Elvis Presley was a documented wrestling fan. He actually used to sneak into the arenas in Memphis and watch some of the wrestlers, but I seriously doubt Hulk Hogan was one of them. I don't even know if Hulk Hogan had started training to be a wrestler yet. And at that point, he would have still been Terry Bollea. He wouldn't have been the Hulk Hogan we know today. So that was a lie. For that, right now, we're going to cover that on the lies. As far as the Hulk Hogan piece of shit allegations go, Bret Hart in 1993 was scheduled to actually work a program with Hulk Hogan. He was actually scheduled to go over Hulk Hogan. Now, these are claims according to Bret Hart. Hulk Hogan has refuted these claims, but how trustworthy is Hulk Hogan? I think I've done a pretty well job of establishing that he's not the most reliable source. Bret Hart claims that he was scheduled to go over Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania in '93. However, Hulk Hogan went to Vince McMahon and told him, that doesn't work for me, brother. Now, that doesn't work for me, brother, for some of you that don't know, is a line Hulk Hogan infamously used throughout his wrestling career when talking to bookers or promoters when asked to do a job. A job meaning put over somebody else. let John Cena pin you. The Rock's gonna pin you tonight. That would be doing a job for those guys. Hogan would usually use his creative control card to infamously say, "That doesn't work for me, brother," meaning rewrite the script. I'm going over, because if anyone's going over tonight, it's the Hulkster Daddy. Now, Hulk Hogan said, "That didn't work for me, brother, but down the line we can probably work a program together." And there actually was a program scheduled to happen between Bret Hart and Hulk Hogan during the course of the summer of '93. Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart actually did a photo shoot for WWF magazine at the time, where they're both holding the title belt, and it's rumored that they were going to have a blow-off match at SummerSlam. However, Hulk Hogan notoriously quit the company in June of 1993, doing the job to 400-plus pound sumo wrestler Yokozuna, and thus robbing Bret Hart of his opportunity to get that Hulk Hogan rub as the next big star coming up in the 90s. Now, Bret Hart would eventually go on to be a major star in the 90s, with or without Hulk Hogan's help, as most of the people who have worked with Hulk Hogan ended up doing anyway. Another accusation from another wrestler was by Booker T. Now, I don't know if some of you know about Booker T. He's an African-American pro wrestler, one of my favorites. In the year of 2000, the head booker at the time, the head of creative at WCW, was a guy by the name of Vince Russo. Vince Russo was going to put over Booker T. Booker T was going to win the world championship that night. And Hogan squashed it, man. Hogan went to him behind closed doors and said, "That doesn't work for me, brother. Like, I don't care what we do, but I'm the one leaving with the championship tonight. Fuck everybody else." And Booker T never really forgave him for that. He always had a beef with Hogan because of that incident, as well he should. Here's a young up-and-coming guy. This is his shot. Might be his one and only shot. In the world of pro wrestling, you can get injured and lose your entire career in a matter of moments. You know, you take what you're given, and in this moment, fate had bestowed upon Booker T an opportunity to leave as world champion, and Hulk, using his creative control, squashed that, as he did many others. And I may make a follow-up video to Hulk Hogan, because, man, there's a lot there. It is a gold mine of journalistic wealth. However, as we're getting to that 12-minute mark, I'm about to tap, much like Hulk Hogan. Anyway, this was not an endorsement of Kamala Harris, by the way. Some people may think that my disagreement with Trump bringing Hulk Hogan onto the RNC stage is an endorsement of the Harris-Walz campaign. I am not a Harris and Walz guy. Not a Republican, but I gotta say, those two scare the shit out of me. So don't mistake this as my endorsement of Harris and Walz. Not that you would care anyway. But no, I just wanted to do a video on Hulk Hogan, his lies, and how he's kind of a piece of shit. I know I didn't get into the sex tape that much where he says the N-word, but everyone who hasn't covered that. There was an entire Gawker lawsuit. I don't know. Anyway, if you watch this video, I hope you had a good time. Feel free to ring that bell, like, and subscribe, or don't. Again, I don't give a fuck. I do this for fun. Peace and love be with you all.